Hi guys, this is Faraz and today I will be solving the actual snap questions of quants. So in this video we will be covering module 1, that is percentage average ratio questions, and this is part 1 of the module. In this video there are 8 questions and all of them are very important and has a very good probability of appearing in the snap exams this year as well. So let us have a look at our first question. We have 3 candidates A, B and C participated in an election. Now if A gets 40% of the votes more than B, C gets 20% votes more than B, and A overtakes C by 4,000 votes. So if 90% voters voted and no invalid or illegal votes were cast, then what will be the number of voters in the voting list? Let us have a look at the options. Option A 72,000, option B 80,000, option C 70,000, and the last option is 78,500. Now guys, again this is a very simple question based on the concept of percentages. Here, in order to save time, the basic trick is to select which particular candidate will be let as X. So you need to find out of A, B and C which will be the perfect candidate whose value you will let as X. So I would again urge you to think about this question and try to solve this on your own. Pause the video right here, but in case you're not able to, don't worry, I will be solving this question again. So let me assume that B got X votes. Now why I have selected B? Because in the first statement, that is A gets 40% of the votes more than B and C gets 20% votes more than B. So in both the statements, B is a common factor. So it makes sense for me to actually let the candidate B as X. So let us assume B has got X number of votes. So A will get 1.4x because A gets 40% of the votes more than B. Similarly, C will be 1.2x, that is C gets 20% more votes than B. Moving on, we have A also overtakes C by 4,000 votes, that is A is 1.4x, overtakes will be minus, and C is 1.2x by 4,000 votes, that is 1.4x minus 1.2x is equals to 4,000. Now calculating the value of X, I get as 20,000. Hence the total number of votes who voted were X for B, 1.4x for A, 1.2x for C, that is 3.6x. Therefore the total number of votes casted will be 3.6x. Substituting the value of X as 20,000 over here, I get 72,000. But now in the question, 90% voters voted and no invalid or illegal votes were casted. So the 90% people voted, that is 90% of total voters, will be equal to 72,000. Hence, the correct answer will be option A, 72,000. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 6 says that in a competitive exam where there were 5 sections, 10% of the total number of students cleared the cutoff in all the sections and 5% cleared none of the sections. From the remaining candidates, 30% cleared only section 1, 20% cleared only section 2 and 10% cleared only section 3. And the remaining 1020 candidates cleared only section 4. So how many students appeared in the competitive exam? The options given to us are option A 2550, 2800, next is 3000, and the last option, option D, is 3200. Now guys, this is a very interesting question. Please pause the video right here, and again I would urge you to solve this question on your own. It's a very simple but an interesting question, and also please have a look at the solution and check if you are solving this in the right way or not. So for this question, let me assume that the total number of students are X. Now 0.15x cleared either no section or all sections, because 10% of the students cleared the cutoff in all the sections and 5% cleared none of the sections. So 10 plus 5 will be 15%. So 0.15x cleared either no section or all sections. Now out of the remaining, that is 0.85x students, 60% cleared section 1 or 2 or 3, because 30 plus 20 plus 10 gives out 60%. So 60% cleared section 1, section 2 or section 3. So the number of students who cleared section 4 are 40% of 0.85x, that is 0.34x. Now if 0.34x students cleared section 4, total students cleared only section 4 are 1020, because remaining, that is section 4, 1020 candidates are there who cleared only section 4. Therefore 0.34x will be equated to 1020, and calculating the value of x, I get as 3000. So x is equals to 3000 in this case. Therefore the total students is 3000, and the correct answer is option C, that is 3000 students appeared in the competitive exam. Let us move on to the next question. Question number 7, we have John's grandfather was 5 times older to him 5 years ago. He would be 2 times of his age after 25 years from now. So what is the ratio of John's age to that of his grandfather? And the options given to us are 7:11, option B 5:11, 3:11, and the last option, option D, is 4:11. Now this is also a very simple question based on the concept of ratios. Try to use both the statements and form 2 equations out of them, and then you will be definitely able to find the ratio of John's age to that of his grandfather. At the same time, don't worry, I will be solving this question for you as well. So now let me assume that John's age 5 years ago was X. So why I am assuming 5 years ago? Because in the question it is mentioned John's grandfather was 5 times older to him 5 years ago. So in order to ease out the calculations, I am taking John's age 5 years ago as X. Hence, the grandfather's age 5 years ago will become 5x, because his grandfather's age was 5 times older to him 5 years ago. Moving on, John's age after 25 years will be x plus 30. It's not x plus 25, it's x plus 30, because x is 5 years ago. So we need to add 5 to 25, therefore it will be x plus 30. Now John's grandfather age after 25 years will be 5x plus 30, because of the same concept. His grandfather's age 5 years ago was 5x, so after 25 years that will be 5 plus 25, it will be 5x plus 30. Now it is given the question that he would be 2 times of his age after 25 years from now. So fx plus 30, that is the grandfather's age, is twice John's age. So 2 into x plus 30. Solving this equation, I get 3x is equals to 30, and calculating the value of x, I get x is equals to 10. Therefore John's present age will be x plus 5, that is 15 years, 10 plus 5. Furthermore, his grandfather's present age will be 5x plus 5, that is 5 into 10 plus 5, that is 55 years. So guys, in present age we will be adding 5, so don't forget that, or else your question will be wrong. Hence the required ratio will be 15:55 or 3:11. Therefore the correct answer is option C, that is 3:11. Let's move on to the last question of this video. Question number 8, we have Sonali can solve 70% of the problems in a competitive exam, and Nirali can solve only 60% in the same exam. Now what is the probability that at least one of them will solve a problem, provided selection of questions is done randomly from the same exam? Now the options given to me are 0.82, 0.88, 0.62, and the last option, option D, is 0.72. Now it's a simple question based on the concept of probability. Again, I would like you to pause the video right here and try to solve this question on your own. You just need to find the probability that at least one of them will be able to solve a problem. Now there are 2 ways to solve this question. I would like you to solve this question on your own, and then you can have a look at the solution, and please follow the way I am solving this particular question. Now in order to calculate that at least one of them will solve a problem, so first let me calculate that no one is able to solve the problem. That is, Sonali cannot solve the problem. The probability will be 1 minus 0.7. Similarly, Nirali can't solve the problem. That will be 1 minus 0.6. So this will be nothing but 0.3 into 0.4, that is 0.12. Now we know that total probability always equals to 1. So the probability that at least one of them will be able to solve a problem that has been asked in the question over here will be equal to 1 minus probability that no one is able to solve the problem. That is 1 minus 0.12. When I solve, I get the value as 0.88. Therefore, the correct answer will be option B, 0.88. Now guys, in this question, you could have calculated individually for Sonali and for Nirali as well. But in order to save time, it is better for me to solve this question with this approach. That is 1 minus probability that no one solves the problem. So in this way, you will be able to solve a lot of time. So please make sure that you follow this approach and practice more questions like these. So this brings me to the end of the video. I hope you really liked the session. There are 8 questions and which are very important. These are actual snap questions which have appeared before. I would urge you to practice more questions like these, give more snap mocks, and at the same time yourself when you are solving each and every question. And finally, all the best to you guys. So this brings me to the end of the video. I hope you really liked the session.